This week, we ventured out into the bitter Melbourne night, drove through the fog and arrived at Victoria's second largest battery energy storage system to see what all the noise was about.
And boy, were we surprised.
3, 2, 1.
So a little while back, we got in contact with the Friends of Gippsland community group who are standing against Samsung, among others, and the proposed solar farms and battery energy storage systems to be put in Trafalgar, Yarragon, Darnham and Shady Creek. Disgraceful. While none of these communities fall within a renewable energy zone, that no longer seems to matter to the government anymore as long as the sun touches the ground, as long as the wind blows occasionally, and as long as you aren't in an area that's overpopulated, it's good enough for Lily DeLulu and Jackie A to approve without a second thought.
Yeah.
It's like their AI, mate.
I know. What would it be like if it was in their backyard, though, really?
You wouldn't have it in their backyard.
No. They're not going to sign off on that in their own backyard.
Exactly right.
So if you won't have it in your backyard, you shouldn't be chucking it in some other bugger's backyard.
These things, now that we've visited one, and we'll get to the noise in a minute, deserve to be in industrial zones only.
Yep.
Because that's what they are.
Yeah.
They are industrial. So we have recorded an interview with Graham and James from the community group about their fight so far, and that'll be coming to the channel in the next week or so. So stand by for that. Before that, though, we want to share with you what it would be like for Graham and James to be neighbouring a massive BESS project to be built next to their properties in Shady Creek, where they farm cattle. So Graham and James told us that they wanted to see what the sort of noise that BESS made. It wasn't something that we'd given any thought to.
No. Not really. It's just an eyesore, really.
You're thinking it's just
a battery.
You're thinking it's a hum.
How much noise is it going to make?
Exactly right. It's just a general hum. But they said they'd been down to one on a hot summer's night and the batteries were cranked up and making a racket. That caught our attention.
Yeah.
So upon investigating further, they found that the batteries, when running at full capacity, generate around 90 dB of noise. Us talking in this room at the moment is around 65 dB of noise. So 90 is getting up there. AC/DC live in concert averages out at between 110 and 120. So it's somewhere between us talking and an AC/DC concert.
Yeah, it's pretty loud. Pretty freaking loud, especially when silence is golden out there. I mean, when we walked out of their house, at Graham's house, it was beautiful. It was so quiet.
Quiet, dark.
And this thing's going to be between 160, 200 metres away.
Yeah. And
it's going to be loud as fuck.
It is. Exactly right. So before we show you our experience, we want to show you a little experiment that the crew out in Gippsland did. This convinced us that we needed to get out and visit one of these for ourselves. Let's take a look at that video.
Yep, sure.
This is a typical night at Shady Creek. So tonight the Friends of Gippsland have come out to the boundary fence of where the proposed Darnham Shady Creek BESS is going to be. Now tonight we're doing a bit of an experiment. We've got the tractors out. Now each tractor is going to be revved to the decibels of what one of the shipping container size batteries noise levels at. So bear in mind that the size of this BESS is going to be 220 shipping containers. Now we've only got 6 tractors, but let's see how noisy it's going to be with just 6. This is the 6 tractors. So this is equating to 6 of their shipping containers. You tell me how having 220 of the shipping containers at this amount of decibels is not going to affect the neighbouring properties of this business. Who in their right mind would want to listen to this shit all day long? 6 tractors light up at the moment and we're sitting at about around 88 decibels.
So they were bang on. Who want to listen to that shit all night, mate? I mean, crikey. Imagine those tractors parked 150 metres from your house.
Yeah, that was loud.
It was.
Yeah,
it was crazy. So Shady Creek has a registered population of 186 people. There's no general store. There's no pub, no servo. If you want to have any of those experiences, you have to drive to Darnham, Yarragon or Jindavick for any of those. It's a community made up purely of farm and rural land.
Yep.
And like you say, when we visited Graham's place, nothing.
Oh, it was so quiet.
It was.
It was beautiful.
Yep. There's no streets of houses. No. There's no little area of town.
Yep.
Just rural properties.
And the fact that they're not going to get compensated much at all.
Not at all.
Or anything.
Yeah.
And that's ridiculous.
It is.
You move out there for the peace and quiet.
Yep.
And there is not going to be any peace and quiet after that gets built.
There isn't. So 3 BESS are slated for this area of the Baw Baw Shire in West Gippsland. And if we're going to be completely honest, that's pretty close to our backyard. This isn't right in our backyard, but it is in our area. And we do have one coming to just a couple of k's away, which will be interesting. Now that I've heard this one, I'm more against...
Oh, God, yeah. Definitely.
Yeah, exactly right. The Shady Creek BESS will generate 800 megawatts of battery capacity and is placed pretty much under the existing transmission lines running from the Latrobe Valley into Melbourne. There's the key word, transmission lines.
What a shock, eh?
Not in a renewable energy zone, but under transmission lines. And we know what happens once you get these things under transmission
There'll be
lines.
wind turbines everywhere.
Yep.
Or solar.
Yep, exactly.
Either.
So while they bang on about how many homes it could power for a few hours, we all know that this BESS in the middle of nowhere, literally in the middle of nowhere, is for a data centre. There's a $10 billion data centre slated for just down the road at Hazelwood that will require 720 megawatts of power across its 300 acres.
Yeah, that's what it's all for, mate.
Yep.
Data centres, isn't it?
Yep, exactly right.
Data centres.
Because in Australia we say data, but in Scotland we say data.
Do we? Have you been to Scotland?
No.
Shut it.
All right. So off we went down the highway through the fog into the industrial outskirts of Melbourne. And if we're going to be honest, that's where these BESSs belong.
Really quite, yeah. I mean,
amongst the factories.
It's practically 1 kilometre from the Cranbourne West train station, isn't it?
Yeah, about that. So this one's surrounded by warehouses that are shut down for the night, which is perfect because they run for up to 8 hours at full noise. Here we visited a BESS that is half the size of the one slated for Shady Creek. And here's what we found. So we visited a BESS, mate.
Yeah.
People will be able to hear it in the background.
Yeah, it's a lot louder than our fall was going to be.
It's heaps louder than I thought it was going to be. And colder.
Yeah. Fucking freezing.
Good old Melbourne. So we're here at, what's the time, Dad? 8:30?
Yeah, about that, yeah.
And it's absolutely cranked because it's a cold night. People will have their heaters on. But, mate, I can't believe how loud it is.
Well, imagine having this in the middle of the sticks where there's no sound normally.
Yep.
And then you're going to be stuck with this noise.
And they're talking about putting them in regional areas only. And we've just caught up with Graham and James down Shady Creek way. You wouldn't want this in your paddock, mate.
They're only going to be like 150 metres away.
160 odd metres.
Yeah.
They did their tractor test the other night at 96 decibels, and when I was listening to that video thinking, gee, that's really loud. Then you come here.
Yeah, I know. It's pretty friggin' loud.
It is. So, as you can see, I don't know how far they are from us. Probably the batteries are 30 metres, 30 or 40 metres from us, behind us.
Maybe. How many batteries are stored here?
That's 200 plus 400 megawatts. I'll have to check that in the battery. I think it's 200.
How many acres is there on?
Check that out.
That's pretty loud.
Pretty loud. Mate, if you live in the middle of nowhere like Graham and you got this thing next here, James.
Yeah, bloody loud.
That's freaking annoying, mate. And it's going to come on every cold night and every warm day. And eventually, every night, because eventually there'll be no wind and solar. That was a bit of a shock, wasn't it, mate?
Sure was. It was friggin' freezing as well.
It was pretty chilly, yeah. I'm surprised you could see the batteries through the fog, but the light must have pushed all the fog aside.
I didn't realise how lit up it would be.
No, and how loud. So imagine those lights.
The lights are just going to... I mean, looking up at the stars when we came out of Graham's place, beautiful.
Yeah.
But like, you couldn't do it with those lights just down the road. It's like, it's full on light pollution, man.
It was crazy.
It's awful.
So much later than we expected. Can't imagine having that going on for 8 hours at a time. I mean, Graham and James will never get any sleep and their families won't get any sleep at all if that is going on all night. Remembering that you're going from an environment with no noise, the odd moo,
to this.
And
what about the cattle?
Yeah.
How are they going to be affected by it?
Well, they'll be.
Has there been any experiments, any testing to see how it's going to affect the cattle?
They haven't been to the land.
No.
They haven't even visited these properties, Samsung. There'll be parts of their farm that their cows will no longer want to go to. It will probably shrink the size of their business.
Yeah.
It's no good.
No.
This stuff doesn't belong on rural or metropolitan land.
It's not right,
It's got to go in industrial land.
Yep.
So you tell us, folks, would you want to be living just around the corner from there? No compensation, no communication, no consultation, no
transparency.
Transparency. Because this is what is happening. It's an absolute disgrace. Interestingly, there is a town hall meeting at Port Melbourne this week to protest data centres being built in Metro Melbourne, in residential or in industrial zones. They want them pushed out to rural areas because that's where the BESS, the wind and the solar will be. But data centres also make noise and emit pollution. Right? The New South Wales government are considering only approving data centres in regional areas going forward. And I quote, "The New South Wales government is actively evaluating and adjusting its strategy for data centre development across the state. Driven by an unprecedented boom in artificial intelligence and cloud computing, the rapid growth of data centres has put a heavy strain on urban infrastructure, particularly in Sydney. Because of this, the state is shifting its focus to encourage and facilitate data centre deployment in regional New South Wales." There'll be no regional areas left, mate.
No. It'll just be a mishmash of batteries, solar and wind. They've got to be in, obviously not residential.
They've got to be industrial zones.
Industrial zones. That's the only place they belong.
Yep.
They don't belong anywhere else.
The problem with industrial zones is where do you get the water if it's a data centre?
Yeah, but there's farms out of these places.
I know.
Where are the farmers going to get the water once they start using all their water?
No, in New South Wales, they'll pull it out of the Murray-Darling, mate. Make it even worse.
Yeah.
Yep. Because farming's now a second priority.
Yep. Oh,
Renewable.
we don't need the food.
No, we don't. No, we're going to live off
fresh air and electricity.
We're going to live off AI and clouds. So if you think we're being a bit NIMBY, think again. This is an impost on the way of life. It will impact business. It will impact mental welfare, and it will devalue your land.
Yep.
Would you buy property next to one of these, mate?
I would not go anywhere near one.
No.
In fact, I'd look for the transmission lines and go 20 kilometres either side it or further.
I was going to say.
Yeah, because 20 kilometres isn't that far. Maybe 200 kilometres.
Well.
I'd get as far away from as possible and then I'd buy some land.
Yeah, because...
Especially not on hillsides. No. Beautiful landscaped hillsides because they'll be blowing the tops of them and putting bloody wind turbines on them.
Yep, and then transmission lines will come along.
Mate, maybe I'll just live in a hole somewhere.
We're moving into the bothy.
Yeah. I'd say a cave, but they're destroying a cave down the south, down at the... where's that?
Australia.
The limestone.
Yeah,
so we can't even look for caves.
We can't.
Where are we going?
I don't know, mate.
Fiji.
There's caves up in the hills here. We'll go there. Let us know what you think, everyone.
Thanks, guys.
See ya.